Hello everyone, I'm back on the channel after a month I think. I have been busy on my end as well as busy traveling, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be teaching all of you how to have and acquire better handwriting. Now, as you see here, this is my handwriting. This is my own signature handwriting to be more exact. Real quick, I will rewrite everything down. Okay, and as for the capital letters, one moment. All right. Now, this is my own signature handwriting. This is sort of a mix of cursive and other handwriting fonts, as I'd say. And yeah, what I see in school a lot, and I think you all have seen it well, or at least with your current peers, is that yeah, a lot of people nowadays don't have good handwriting, and this is because the American education system stopped teaching cursive both as a necessity and just entirely. And yeah, it makes people like I see a lot of my peers in school, a lot of them have like god awful handwriting. Like a lot of them aren't even legible, some of them just look ugly. And yeah, I figured I'd do this service so that you guys can look better in the way you write. And of course, I can understand why schools would stop teaching cursive and handwriting. It's because the world is becoming more digital, especially because, we use, at least in my schools and in neighboring schools, we use Chromebooks. I think that's the same for all of you guys. Or you might have used a different device, I don't know. But yeah, this method, more specifically that I used, is I actually did not use a handbook for any of this. All of this I learned by myself. And the way you do it is to start small. So for starters, let's say you instead of learning all of these at the same time, you learn each letter separately, individually, one at a time, okay? So for example, let's say G, okay? Suppose your G looks like this, okay? And you want to turn it into this. Okay, or maybe you want to turn it into this. I don't know who, or maybe this or this. The choice is yours in this scenario, okay? But let's just say you wanted to do it like this, okay? So you make a rule to yourself, okay? For every lowercase g I write, I will write it like this. So for example, I could say something like go, gree, gov. Okay? And what you do is you keep telling yourself every time you want to write a lowercase g, you write it in the way you want to, and you keep doing this until writing it like this becomes second nature. You don't need to think about writing it like this rather than like this. And you keep doing that. So for example, the next letter you want to upgrade, I could say is, let's say B. So perhaps your B's might look like this. Okay, you could do the Spencerian way, I think, write it like this, or you just want something like this, or maybe like this. The choice is, of course, yours. So you do that for B. Okay, so big, breaking, okay. I'm just thinking random sentences for this. So the same concept with G, you keep writing B like this until it's second nature. And what you do is you just sort of go through the alphabet. I recommend you doing lowercase first. Like for example, once you upgraded B, then you choose another lowercase letter and finish the entirety of lowercase, and then you go to the uppercase. Now, One amazing thing about this is that unlike cursive handbooks and other sorts of handbooks where they tell you how to write a certain way, you can choose how you want your letters to look. And that helps a lot, especially if you're trying to build your own signature handwriting like this. For example, if you look closely at my handwriting, all of them are not from the same font group. Most of my lowercase letters are Spencerian, some of them are, I guess you could say, Arial or Garamond, and then most of my capital letters are actually like Gothic. I guess you could say that. A lot of them are also Spencerian, some of them are, I guess, from other fonts. But the point is, I wasn't thinking about like the fonts, I was thinking about how I wanted them to look. And I made my handwriting look the way I want to by, in a way, practicing. Now, this is another big caveat for this method that I used where you go one letter at a time, upgrading each one, is that you need to constantly, in a way, be writing. Okay? Now, in a sense, I technically did not practice this on my own, in the sense that, like, I didn't have, like, a journal with me to practice writing like this. Instead, I was actually just given a lot of packets and, like, worksheets from my school that helped me get better handwriting because I could practice on that. I could remember actually, for example, throughout middle school and ninth grade, I was given a lot of worksheets and packets, for example, in science and in history, and writing a lot because that gave me enough practice. I was able to upgrade my handwriting like that. However, you do not need to do it that way if your school doesn't give you much paper, whether that be worksheets, assignments on paper, etc. Then you probably just need to like get your own pieces of paper and work on it daily. All right? Yeah, there isn't much to say here as well as yeah, I've of course written the Latin alphabet. However, I mean, what am I saying? Feel free to use this method where you go one letter at a time for any other writing system or language. For example, I sort of know the Greek alphabet. Wait one moment. There we go. It looks a bit. I understand that like not all Greeks write the alphabet in the way I did. I think a lot of writers are wrong because I did not learn it that way. But yeah, at least you can at least sort of tell that these are yeah alpha, beta, gamma, etc. Capital letters, I mean they're the same thing. Yeah, for Greek letters, my handwriting is a sort of bad, especially since I'm trying to write through a camera because I'm trying to hold this to show you how I write. But yeah, this is the Greek alphabet, and of course, I don't think Greeks write it exactly the way I just did now. As for as for my cursive, though, I just like to point out that most of my cursive, as I said before, is detached. However, there are a lot of ligaments that I actually write that are attached. For example, double L is written like this. This is a oops wait. This is bi. Okay, this is ly. This is lly. This is double T. this is double Z, and this is double S. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so these are just like a few attached letters that I write. There's also other letters that don't come, actually sort of do come with the Latin alphabet. For example, in school I take German, so I can write the SZ in my own style, as well as A, O, U umlauts, as well as the capital ones. So my capital SZ looks like this. Okay, and then A, O, U is just capital, but there we go. And there are other characters I know. For example, O with a slash, I write it like that. Lowercase. There's Thorn, I write it like this. Ash is like this. Wait one moment. There's something like that. It's hard to write through a camera. It's hard to see my handwriting through, this camera here. And then I guess Ethel is just, oh, that looks bad. It looks better, trust me, when I write it without holding a camera. So yeah, this is my, I guess you can say, my handwriting. This is my signature handwriting. And yeah, this is how you can get better handwriting. This is, as I showed you, my method that I think already exists. I'm not too sure. It's just going letter by letter, upgrading it one at a time until you have the handwriting you want. So yeah, that's gonna be it. If I have missed anything, I'll probably put it in the comments. So, yeah, I guess that is all. Goodbye.